created us to be me.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. This is just a reminder that while we might get into some tea, some drama, this is not a tea channel. We're focused on real stories and real commentary. Now, let's get into this video. So, y'all, I've been following this mishap that happened between Kehlani and the hosts of The Morning Hustle over the past 3 days. And while I think the issue has just gone quiet as of today, it doesn't really seem like people understand what really happened or what the issue was. It doesn't seem like anything got resolved, and I don't even think the hosts of The Morning Hustle understand what happened. So I went ahead and gathered all the pieces to this story for a video. So I have the full breakdown and I have a few points I want to share. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So Kehlani has released a new album titled Blue Water Road. And in this album, she has switched some things up with her sound and her style of music. And some of the tracks cater to her love for women. We have seen Kehlani go through different phases of trying to figure out herself. And recently Kehlani has let the world know that she now identifies as she, they pronouns. And she also is a lesbian. So being that she just released this album, she's been doing a lot of interviews, and apparently the last interview she did with The Morning Hustle was so disrespectful that she did not want to do any more interviews ever again. Here are a few clips from said interview.
They are here, and they is she, and she is with us. She go by the name of Kehlani. How are you handling it all?
I'm chilling.
You got the new project letting people into your mind a little bit now.
Yep.
Yes, but that's just like the passage into your thoughts.
Yep.
A lot of people seem to keep putting you with SZA for some reason. Would that ever be your type, or that's just like a friendly situation?
I don't have a type.
But y'all haven't crossed that. No scissoring with SZA.
No, we're friends.
070 Shake. And even like relationship aside, like sonically, I would love to hear y'all cook something up. Do you even know each other like that? Is
yeah,
there any...
we do know each other. Like
Okay.
And you also have come out and let it be clear that your pronouns, her, she, they, them. Can you just kind of give like a little brief breakdown of like why you prefer to be called what you prefer to be called, and if you feel disrespected if people don't refer to you in that manner?
No, if you don't understand it, just say that. Like, don't make a mockery of it. Don't make a joke. Thank you.
So as you can see, the interview kind of started off a little weird with the introduction, and Kehlani's responses throughout the video were very dry and cold and distant. This turned into a back and forth between the hosts and Kehlani via social media, and both parties have a different take on the events of the interview, and many viewers are just straight up confused. Kehlani claims that she had been doing multiple interviews that week for the album and had even done an interview that same morning that she had an interview with The Morning Hustle. And those interviews that she had, even the one that morning, were good vibes, warm, inviting, nothing out of the way, nothing crazy. But she stated that when she got to The Morning Hustle, that interview was cringy, they were mocking her, and it was just invasive. This is what she went on to say. I see that interview was still released. I've been advised to speak. I was going to remain quiet. Every other recent interview has been super bubbly, warm, informative, and open from start to finish. This interview was cringy, a lot of mockery, and invasive. This is why your favorite artists always stop doing interviews or people don't want to speak anymore. I'm only speaking to select few folks anymore who really care about me deeply and have always been in my corner. At the fans, sharing clips out of context doesn't help me. All the comments on the YouTube video, though, agree that it was a shitty ass interview, and in my opinion, it's pretty evident. So it seems as if Kehlani felt that her preferred pronouns were being mocked at the beginning of the interview, and certain questions like the one about SZA was invasive, being that SZA is her friend. Fans also pointed out that Kehlani was asked if she knew who her own girlfriend, 070 Shake, is. On the other hand, HeadKrack, one of the hosts, took to the Morning Hustle platform the next day to address his side of the Kehlani interview, and here's what he had to say.
Came in, she told us she was tired, then she also got to the interview like way earlier than what the appointed time was, but that's great. We love when people come early. There's also a conversation about pronouns, which I know is a very sensitive subject. Me being the type of journalist I am, I do the research to make sure that I, lent energy to all those things. The way I entered it maybe could have been off-putting. You got to open up this dialogue because, listen, I lead with love. Gets a little dicey in there, I apologize. But yo, my intentions were truly pure.
He also went in the comments of the original video to say that the reason why he asked about 070 Shake was because of rumors he had seen that they were together. But the rumors had not been confirmed, so he decided to focus on the music part of the question rather than trying to bring up any relations. Which seems to be true because you notice he said relationship aside.
Said 070 Shake. Relationship aside, like sonically.
But even so, when he asked if they know each other like that, a quick Google search would have shown you that they know each other very well. From what I'm getting, he opened the interview in that way because it was his attempt at respecting all of Kehlani's pronouns. However, that could have been something that was addressed through the initial emails of setting up the interview so that all of this would have never happened. HeadCrack also seemed to give a genuine apology, and while I can't accept any apologies on anyone else's behalf, I mean, at least he did apologize. Now, Lore'l, on the other hand, the other host, she had a different type of energy while addressing the situation. And she calls herself calling out Kehlani. So she said, Kehlani, girl, please, you came in there with an attitude nasty from the door. Tell me I'm lying. If you felt disrespected, speak up. We interview all the best artists. There's a reason you came to our show, and in hindsight, we should have cut you as soon as it started because your energy was disgusting. The truth is, you need media training ASAP and learn how to handle uncomfortable questions. How are you singing about the JJ, but get mad when someone asks you about something involving your sexuality or pronouns? Make it make sense. We've interviewed you before, no issues, so maybe you on your period, but there was plenty of things I know and didn't bring up. Don't do interviews if you don't want to be asked questions. And then Kehlani followed up with this. She said, I didn't come earlier than I was supposed to. I had just finished Young Jock's radio show, Really Good Energy. I def said hi to everyone. I sat down and immediately ODing with the pronouns felt like a mockery. Every time I started to open up, something crazy came. Asked me if I was my friend, asked me if I ever heard of my own girlfriend, and much more. I sat through the entire interview really embarrassed and still only said no more interviews after. That post did not come until the next day, and that was used for clout. I have done really amazing, beautiful interviews the entire week, and even that morning right before, I was perfectly fine when I walked in, and every single person that came in with me felt how wrong all of it was. Getting up and leaving would have been a cop-out. Cussing someone out would have been awful. I did my best while protecting my energy and being mocked to my face. I guess Lore'l feels that Kehlani was trying to paint her a certain way as if she's not supportive of the community, and says Kehlani came in the interview already with a negative vibe, arms crossed 1 to 2 hours late. Then she goes on to say that Kehlani behaved this way because the Morning Hustle is an urban platform.
When Kehlani first came in, her and her team came in about an hour and a half early before our scheduled interview. You walk in the door, you did not speak to anybody in the room. Cold and distant, nasty, sat in her chair and folded her arms. She goes by certain pronouns, and we know this because we listened to Sway's interview.
To witness her journey.
You better watch your pronouns there, player.
Okay, baby. Okay, hold up. I got it.
You can use she too. It's
I can
okay.
use she. Okay.
Now here on the Morning Hustle Show, anybody that knows me knows I'm an avid supporter of the LGBTQIA community. Like, don't ever try to spin it and make it seem like we play around or mock around with things like that.
And if you felt like I was mocking you, which I clearly wasn't.
I feel like the issue is in this whole situation is the lack of respect for urban media and the fact that you feel like you don't have to come to platforms like this and do interviews because you have Cosmopolitan and MTV and Vanity Fair, and we never asked to interview her, be clear.
No, we didn't.
This is not a small platform, sis, and you have to respect all the people. We never did anything to her. She says in a record, I can taste you on me. I asked her about that. That was being too invasive. If there's a question you do not want to answer as a grown-up, you say, I do not want to answer that, and you move on. Now, good luck with your album. I heard it only sold 21,000 copies.
Something like that.
Maybe that's why you're doing all this. Talk to your label if you don't want to do interviews no more. That's not up to us.
Now, if y'all don't know who Lore'l is, she used to be a rapper and she was a cast member on Love and Hip Hop New York's earlier seasons. She used to stay going at it with Erica Mena, so her response honestly does not surprise me in any kind of way. And it also doesn't surprise me that she brought up SZA, because there were rumors going around that SZA and Kehlani were dating, or at least had something going on since spring of 2021. And this was all due to the type of videos and pictures that were surfacing online, just how they were so close and holding hands and things of that nature. Then SZA supposedly came out and said that she herself is also a lesbian. So a lot of people have been shipping those two together. Later, Kehlani took to her Instagram to say, "I have kept it calm, collected, mature in the face of blatant disrespect when I could have went off. I finished interviews strong while being poked and prodded at. I joyfully met thousands and thousands of fans this week, joyfully did many interviews, very much available on YouTube. If you know me, you know I'm high, bright energy until messed with. Stretching the situation out for clout when it's evident I was energetically responding to what was being thrown at me, and still at it was quiet, short, and protective of my energy. Y'all need this though, I get it." Now after that, that was the end of this situation, and to be honest, I feel like it's really this simple. If you are unsure of how to address someone, especially when it concerns a sensitive topic such as identity and pronouns, especially if it's new to you and you've never had to address someone in this way, just reach out to your guest upon approval of the interview or meetup or whatever it is you guys are having, so that this doesn't happen. It's that simple. And on the other hand, if there are certain types of questions that you don't want to be asked, let the interview know not to cross those boundaries, or else you will have no choice but to end the interview immediately. Period. It's that simple. I really feel like HeadCrack thought that he did everything the right way, and when he saw that Kehlani was made to feel uncomfortable, he did apologize, which is what you should do. Now, Lore'l, on the other hand, definitely had a different type of energy, and her SZA comment, yes, it was inappropriate, but I will say that these are not the type of questions that are uncommon. Does it mean it should be normalized? No, but it is. So therefore, if I was Kehlani, just knowing how interviews go, I would have just set boundaries prior to any interview so that stuff like this just doesn't happen. Now, what I will say is Lore'l, she did not have to come for Kehlani's album sales like that. Now, she knows she ain't shit for that. She could have definitely had a better response, but I don't know. Now, like I said, only Kehlani can accept any apologies, but I want to know how you guys feel. What's y'all opinions on this matter? I'm interested in hearing what y'all think, so I'll meet y'all down in the comments. Let's have a discussion, and I'll see y'all in the next video.
And if you call me a bitch, make sure you put baddest in front of it.
Shoot that to the bone.